Okay, wow. This is an official tutorial. This is parts of Not Sisters. I've got Tom with me, Amanda. We enjoyed a wonderful performance from the two of them. And now we're going to learn a bit of loop sessioning here. I am really interested in this because I don't know much about Ableton. And I'm a Fruity Loops connoisseur. If I can say that, I like to gobble up all the Fruity Loops stuff. And this is super cool that Tom has offered to share all of his expertise and knowledge about looping. And now, do you want to tell us which DAW that you use?
So yeah, this is all going to be through Ableton.
Okay.
I think that is just that, it was built to do live stuff. So
right.
It's great for that. It's got a lot of tools that are very, very useful.
Yeah. Wow, I've heard of so many DJs that use Ableton as well, and they just, they swear by it.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think we could do this in any other program.
Oh, okay.
Before I used to use Logic all the time for
really?
recording, and if there was the capabilities to do it, I probably would have stuck with it. But
wow. Ooh, Logic.
got to meet the needs, and Ableton was the way to go. So,
true. Wow. Okay, I'm excited. I'm ready. What is this session called?
So this is basically our whole live set.
Oh, wow.
So we have everything all in one session for all of the songs that we're going to perform live.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I guess just like a bit of background as well is that the reason that we wanted to do this was that because it's just the two of us, just
right.
me and Amanda, we started this all during COVID.
Oh, wow.
And we got very comfortable just working the two of us.
Right.
So when it came to time of like, we can start performing live again now, it's like, how can we make this work with just two people?
Right.
And I've got some friends in Vancouver that do looping, and
awesome.
there's some great people on YouTube as well that do this kind of thing. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a way we could make this work with just the two of us.
Good mentors, yeah.
So yeah, this is basically our whole live set. You
Sweet.
can see like across the top here, we've got the the different songs. So I've got a MIDI keyboard over here where I'm able to control this and jump through the different songs. But
amazing.
Essentially, that's we've got the set lined up there. The way that it works, so I'm going to try not to go into too much nerdy detail here.
Oh dear, I'll take it.
The really high level version is we've got the tracks going down the right hand side here. So all the instruments we've got. So we've got like the drum samplers plugged in here.
All right.
We've got the bass guitar. We've got the other guitar. We've got some synths going on. And these are all set up just as you were if you were going to be tracking a recording session. So, we've got them going into the interface and they've all got their own tracks here.
All right.
So where the magic kind of happens is that on each one of these tracks, we've got a looper added. So this is one of Ableton's plugins that you get with it. This is basically everything hinges around this for us. So similar to like when you see a guitar player with a loop pedal, like you press start and then it exactly.
Keeps going,
same thing. Yeah, exactly the same.
Sweet.
So I've essentially got one of these on every track so that anytime I'm playing instrument, or same with Amanda when she's playing keys, and even for vocals, we can loop that as well.
Okay.
Whenever we want to capture something, the looper starts and then it plays back.
Wow.
Then when you watch like a guitar player in the street or wherever, they're like physically pressing the looper each time they want to stop and start.
Yeah, they've recorded a bit and then they save it. It saves in the.
Yeah, I think so.
In the guitar pedal thing. Oh, okay.
Exactly. But they're like in control of doing that manually each time.
Right.
Which I know there's some people that do looping with like via a laptop that have that same option where it's like they'll have a foot pedal which is like loop start.
Right.
Sweet. I decided that was going to be too much work to play too live. Like I can hardly play guitar and
we're getting the hack right now.
so starting and stopping loopers as well.
Right.
So I guess this is the crux of how it works is that for each one of these tracks, so let's go and have a look at Cotton Candy that we were recording today. So what this is going on here is this is essentially a map of when the loopers are going to start and stop.
Okay.
So we've got in is in,
right.
there's metronome going, and
we can stay on time.
Basically we learn that, so the song starts, we get our 8 count in, and it's like, okay, the first instrument is going to be, and this one is bass. So me and Amanda play bass and keys at the same time.
Oh, sweet.
So there's then one bar of that, and then
the loop starts. Oh, okay. Got it.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so that's it. You kind of see, and then each one of these tracks here essentially relates to one of the inputs we were looking at just a second ago.
Right.
So we've got drums, some other percussion stuff, bass. And so you can kind of match up. It's like, okay, at the start of the song, there's some bass and keys. Then there's going to be some drums that come in here. We've got some guitar that's going to start here. And so basically the whole thing's mapped out in advance, which keeps it really simple in some ways that we don't have to worry about. We just have to play.
Okay.
Right? It's not okay, did I start the looper at the right time? Did I stop it? And all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you can start getting a bit more nerdy with how this actually works, which is, so what's going on here is basically these are all MIDI tracks. Whenever and each track, there's basically a MIDI note is assigned to one of the looper's functions.
Oh, okay.
So for example, if we had a look at this bass track, we've got a D sharp 2, which essentially means that whenever that note's hit, the bass looper is going to start recording.
Oh, really?
And then so this next one is like I guess what's that? An E. So that's going to be the play. So yeah, it's basically a way that you can map it out.
Right.
And then
it's like what do they call it? The piano roll.
Exactly.
You can okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
why
imagine
triggered.
like each note on the piano roll will essentially either start a looper, stop the looper, put it in an overdub mode, and that's just so you essentially end up with your whole piano roll as like different instruments, if you know what I mean.
Oh wow, yeah. I love that.
And then there's a bit more technical stuff that happens with regards to there's on the MacBooks they've got a IAC driver, I think it's called, which basically you have to do this MIDI loop back style thing where these MIDI notes here trigger the driver, which in turn trigger the tracks. I learned that from, I think it's Elise True, she's a Canadian like live looping artist.
Amazing.
And yeah, I think I read an article somewhere that was how she did it. And
wow.
Kind of I was like, I'll do that. Yeah.
That's so cool. Holy.
Yeah, that's kind of how it all works. So obviously, like the audio interface that we've got plays a big part in this, which is interesting from the point of view of when we're doing live events. That you'll find some sound people are very into the idea of like us essentially providing all of the tracks and them having maybe a bit less control than they'd be used to.
Exactly.
We used to, when we first ever did this setup, we just gave the sound person like a one stereo track.
Oh, okay.
So that they hated that. That was like, they couldn't mix it at all. And we were like, okay.
No.
That's all part of the learning process though. Yeah. I think like every gig we've done so far, something's gone wrong.
Oh, seriously.
But so you
still work through it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how gigs work, right? You have to have a backup on your backup. That's what I've learned. Super cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we eventually got to the point now where all of the tracks here are split out into different outputs. So we've got our snake that comes out of the interface. Right. Give that to the sound guy and hope that they can work with it.
The live was amazing, and thank you so much again for joining us.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that your social media gets out there. Let's make. And do you have any upcoming shows or exciting releases that are coming up soon?
So I think first off,
we're socials.
Not Sisters. Before we forget, Not Sisters. It's at Not Sisters Band on Instagram and TikTok. We're on YouTube.
Oh yes.
Facebook, and that as well. You'll find us. And yeah, so the song that we recorded today, or that we did the live session for, that's going to be on an upcoming EP that we're going to be recording over the next couple of months. So that'll be like our first real body of work. We've always just done singles till now.
Oh,
so
it'll be EP's coming out. All right. Well,
so that's
congratulations.
there you go. There's a sneak peek into the future for us.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Oh, okay. We're excited. Thank you, Amanda.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for having us. It's been amazing.